Hello guys, good evening and welcome back. We have the quarterfinals of the winner bracket for you today from the Sultans Cup. And let me just go and show you guys the brackets. So this is how the brackets currently stand in the winners bracket. We've got Land Clan versus Three Man Saw, and the other set will be the Sultans versus Team Archivist. So these guys have basically fought their way through the group stages. Finally, they're in the quarterfinals. Whoever wins in these two sets progresses on to the winners bracket semi-finals, which we'll be showing live at a future date. The schedule will be posted on the Discord server. So yeah, anyways, the first set will be between Land Clan and Three Man Saw. So let me just go ahead and announce the map picks that they had decided. So Three Man Saw have gone for Arena and Four Lakes as their home maps, and meanwhile Land Clan have got Hideout and Serengeti. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Civ drafts now. So there we go. So we have Lucifer on the left of 4, representing Three Man Saw, and on the right we have Bloodless, who is representing Land Clan. So yeah, let me just fast forward this and we can take a look. Wow, so got a couple of extremely interesting bans here by Three Man Saw. So they've just banned Mayans and Britons from the outset. And on the other side, Land Clan have banned Saracens and Burmese. So I mean, Saracens and Burmese I can sort of understand because we've got Arena as one of the home maps. But Britons and Mayans is, yeah, I wonder what strategies they're going for. And so here are the Civ picks. We've got on the right for Land Clan, Franks, Vikings, and Japanese. Some extremely good Arabia Civs over here. On the left, we've got Ethiopians, Vietnamese, and Magyars. So again, some nice Civs, but on balance, out of the first 3 picks, I would actually go for Land Clan over here. After that, Land Clan have got Khmer, Mongols, and Byzantines. And on the left, for 3 men, so we've got Portuguese, Lithuanians, and Cumans. Lithuanians, I suppose, is something that Transa personally picked, or has requested Lucifer to pick. So there's that. And finally, for Land Clan, we've got Koreans, Malay, and Persians. And finally, for 3 men, so we've got Italians, Incas, and Tatars. So yeah, should be interesting to see how the games go. And I guess I have the first game loaded up, so we can just go live to it. And yeah, of course, man. Vikings versus Lithuanians should be an interesting matchup if we ever go for a 1v1 in someday. Anyway, yeah, so I think I can just go live. And Transa, by the way, if you're going to be co-casting, you can just join directly. I believe No Chance might be joining as well, not really sure. But anyways, yeah, let's go live. So, fair enough. We have Transa representing Three Man Saw, who's playing as the flank with Ethiopians. We've got the pocket, I assume, is Fur. Yep, so Fur is going for Magyars. And finally, we have that core gamer who's playing as the other flank and is Vietnamese. And I've just noticed one thing, that that core gamer is extremely close to Blizzard 42, who's playing for Land Clan. And I mean, considering the fact that they've got a Vietnamese player on their side, Three Man Saw, I mean. So yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of potential for laming if Fur is interested in doing that. And anyway, let's just go over the civ picks, or rather the players. So we've got the pocket for Land Clan, who is No Chance, who is playing as the Franks. And finally, we've got the other flank, who is Bloodless, who's playing as the Mongols. So a couple of extremely nice Scout Rush civs in the form of Mongols, and we've got Fur playing as the Magyars. So Mongols, of course, get the extremely fast hunt bonus or whatever, which means they can go something like a 19 pop scouts rush or whatever. I mean, of course, he's playing as the flank here, so I'm not sure how viable that strategy is. But there is that, and meanwhile on the other side before he's got the Magyars, so of course they get the free upgrades on their attack for the infantry and the cavalry. So Magyar scouts are extremely potent early on. So yeah, should be interesting. And let me just change the overlay to the idle TC time. So wow, this is pretty nice. We've got no idle TC time for any of the players here, which is extremely nice at this level now. And some idle eco time, but not a lot. Dranza has had some idle eco, so I believe he might have had a couple of villagers idle somewhere, possibly waiting for a boar to come in or whatever. But yeah, apart from that, it's been pretty standard. And something nice to see here is, there's no idle TC time. So yeah. And Dranza, meanwhile, I think he has just found his sheep. Oh, so Dranza hasn't found two of his sheep over here. And Bloodless, okay, so Bloodless is not scouting Dranzo's base yet properly because otherwise he would have been able to get those sheep over there. And we've got Bloodless pulling in a boar. I assume he'll be able to pull it properly. I mean, we're in the quarterfinals now, so I don't expect any sort of, villagers dying to boars or whatever. So, yeah, I think we can just, yeah, exactly. Scout got hit. I noticed that you guys were having some sort of a fight between your scouts. Or it might have been the TC or whatever. But yeah, anyway. And okay, so looking at the map, let's just take a look at Blizzard 42's map over here. So he's got a nice wood line. He can wall this to the edge of the map. Should not be an issue. And which will give him two extremely safe secondary goals and a main stone over there. His main gold is exposed, but I mean, yeah, he's got enough gold at the back to not, need to worry about that for a while. Looking at the pocket for No Chance, man, No Chance is pushing beer, as we can see here, and unfortunately now that means that his boar has sort of died outside his TC, but yeah, fair enough. Not that big of an issue here. And okay, so let's just take a look at his map. So, oh man, No Chance's base is bloody awful here. His both the secondary goals are like pretty much outside his base, and his main stone is also quite exposed. He's got a nice main gold at the back. So, I mean, gold should not be an issue as long as he can manage to wall up somehow, maybe, possibly doing some sort of these walls, because of course he cannot wall to the edge of the map. That would be extremely ambitious. And wait, so I am unable to, okay, so there's a secondary stone as well. So, yeah, No Chance will have some issues gathering the stone, at least early on, if he, has to drop a preemptive tower or whatever. But I mean, let's see what goes on later on because Franks, of course, get the cheaper castles, so he can abuse that and drop a bunch of castles or whatever. Meanwhile, for Bloodless, we've got a pretty nice base over here. This wood line, just a single house can protect that. His secondary gold is outside, so is his main stone, and apart from that, okay, so Bloodless has got some very nice gold over here. But yeah, apart from that, his secondary golds are pretty awful. His secondary stone is pretty awful, and his berries are quite exposed. On Dranza's side, yeah, so as we can, Dranza usually does not wall up or is not very good with walling. So, and as you can see here, he has not even found his sheep. Man, this is some pretty epic scouting over here. And he's forgotten the sheep as well, which means that he's having to drop farms early on. I mean, this is extremely early to be dropping farms, and I mean, he should still be able to click up or whatever. I mean, as we can see, he has, but yeah, I mean, the lack of food here is going to present quite a bit of an issue for him. Man, how can you forget this? I mean, if nothing else, just look at the blue dots on your map. You should be able to spot that sheep that you've already scouted. Fur, meanwhile, I mean, has just gotten to the feudal age, and wow, he's actually pretty like he's hell bent on making sure that he's walled completely. Because I mean, I guess he does not want to be hit by No Chance's scouts, considering the fact that they are Frank scouts. So of course they get the extra HP on their scouts. And Magyar Scouts on his side, he's just building up his stable here, and I believe, yeah, he should be able to, wall up pretty easily. And I don't expect him to lose a villager either, so yeah, that's nice. What I find slightly surprising is that 4 is not deciding to fight with his villagers or whatever, because yeah, I mean, he might end up losing a villager here maybe. And yeah, so No Chance also paying quite a lot of attention to his single solitary scout at this point. But yeah, I believe 4 will get walled pretty effectively, and we've got that core gamer already getting his 2 ranges up, so that's nice. Dranzer, meanwhile, is also building his 2 ranges. These quick walls, I mean, yeah, I mean, early on, fair enough, you can, go for this, but it's pretty inefficient because these villagers, they bump into each other a lot, and ideally, you know what, just man, wall this up. You might even find your two sheep over there. So yeah. What's surprising is that there hasn't been any early aggression in the form of a Drush or a Man-at-Arms or whatever, so everybody's just going directly for Feudal Age. And we've got Blizzard 42 who is also completely walled up, so that's nice. Unfortunately, I don't like this gold that he's taking over here. He can just opt to take the gold at the back. So he has found one of them, the exposed one. He has not found this gold, but yeah, relying on this gold early on, I don't believe that to be a smart move. But anyway, we'll see what happens. And yeah, so Dranzer, man, let me just check Dranzer scouting over here. So Dranzer, I mean, fair enough, Dranzer will end up losing his scout, but then we've already got 4 heading towards Bloodless with his 3 scouts. And finally, No Chance is also out with his scouts. So we've got No Chance with 5 scouts, and we've got 4 with 4 scouts over here. And on this side, we've already got a Ratcore gamer who is building up his archer army. Same can be said for Blizzard 42 over here. So, hey Anujab, welcome to the stream. And right, so we've got No Chance who's already heading over here. I assume he's just trying to protect Bloodless at this point. And yeah, I expect these guys to move on forward early on, because any time wasted right now will present some sort of an issue later on. And Dranzer, of course, man, just put put 3 villagers for walling, man. Just get this walled up, delete these quick walls, and yeah. Although I do find it interesting that Dranzer this time is deciding to fortify his walls with some houses at the back, which is nice. And we've got a scout fight here, but wait, you've got 3 walling. So you've got 1 over here who's walling. There is this guy who's walling, and okay, so I assume you're talking about this villager who was walling over there. Very fair enough. And wow, so No Chance is actually going pretty heavy on scouts. He's got 8 out already. And let me see if he's going for any more. Ah, he's going for 2 more. So that's 10 scouts that No Chance is building up here. And meanwhile, on Fur's side, Fur is just adding 1 more scout. Or okay, so that's 1 more for him. So that's 8 versus 10. But then these are Magyar scouts, and on the other side we've got Frank scouts. So Franks, of course, with the higher HP on their scouts, and Magyars get the free attack. So should be an interesting fight. And I mean, No Chance, the fact that he's got 10 scouts, I do expect him to maybe even, get some sort of an upgrade on those scouts. Possibly the... Yeah, exactly. Magyar scouts are cheaper and they get the extra attack. So it is surprising that the guy with the cheaper scouts is not the one making more of them. So No Chance, of course, he's got 10 scouts right now. Okay, so fair enough. I think 4 will catch up on the scouts count now, because he's also making 1 more, which makes it 10 scouts over there. And yeah, I mean, 4 is completely walled at this point, so that's fine. That was pinged for me. And yeah, I mean, No Chance should not be able to get inside for sure. He's got a couple of villagers over there with his farm, so that should not be an issue. And we've got Bloodless already moving forward with his archers. And interestingly, he's deciding to go straight for the pocket here. And Dranzer, meanwhile, is going forward with his archers. Dranzer's got fletching already. Let's see what about Bloodless. So Bloodless has got fletching. On this side, we've got Blizzard 42 moving forward. He's got fletching. And of course, being Koreans, they get the free armor upgrade anyway. So yeah, I mean, I wonder what Latcore Gamer is doing, because he's just massing up his archers right now, and this is way too many, man. He's got like 10 archers in this range, he's got 10 archers in this range, and he's deciding not to move forward at this point. Yeah. So, I mean, on this side, not a lot going on. These guys are trying to get in, but nothing happening. And Dranzer, meanwhile, is hitting Bloodless's woodline over here, so that's nice. And yeah, so Bloodless is forced of this woodline, but I mean, he's got a secondary woodline over here. He can always just use that, or he can use his archers to push away Dranzer's archers. Nobody going for skirms that I can see here. Yeah, so no skirms for anybody, and as expected here, Four has managed to push these guys away. No chance, as I believe lost most of his scouts. Oh man. So Four single-handedly taking care of all of No Chance's scouts and Bloodless's archers as well that he had sent forward, which means that Bloodless is now at a massive disadvantage because there is no Chance to protect him, and on top of that, uh, okay, Four had upgrades. So he had the armor upgrade as well. Fair enough, fair enough. I missed that. So yeah, pretty smart move over there. But I mean, of course, now this means is that No Chance will get to Castle Age faster than Four, which means that No Chance can start his Knight's production slightly faster. No Chance will get to Castle Age in about 30 seconds. And on the other side, we've got Four who will take about a minute to get to Castle Age. But yeah, I mean, as we can see here, for Lanclan, everybody has clicked up to Castle Age. On the other side, we've got Four and Ratcore Gamer who have clicked up. Dranzo still not clicking up. And yeah, I think honestly, that core gamer has wasted a massive advantage over here with his 22 archers. So it's been extremely quiet on this side, which yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there should have been more aggression on this side. Now, I mean, considering the fact that we've got No Chance already in Castle Age and he's starting his first knights. I mean, his first knights are just coming out. So yeah, these archers need to head back. Although we do see that Four is getting the second armor upgrade before No Chance is. No Chance still at just +1 knights. So Lan Clan, I mean the entire team is in Castle Age now, or will be in a second. And yeah, there we go. And on the other side, Ranzo still not in Castle Age. Let me just check his resources here. So, man, Ranzo's, I mean, ex extremely far from Castle Age here. Oh, I'm sorry. You've just clicked up. I was looking on the wrong side. So yeah, anyway, we've got Ranzo who's already clicked up and should be in Castle Age in about 25 seconds. But yeah, I mean this is the advantage that I was talking about that Zatcore Gamer has lost now because for he's adding his knights to the aid of Zatcore Gamer, but Zatcore Gamer has lost quite a few archers over here. Luckily for him, No Chance does not have the second armor upgrade, and he decided to engage before they got the upgrade coming in, which should be in about 5 seconds now. But yeah, I mean, a massive loss here for that core gamer as well. And Four, meanwhile, has fully upgraded the Magyar Knights. I mean, they get the attack upgrades for free, so he just needs the Bloodlines, which he got in Feudal, as Transa pointed out. And yeah, but yeah, I mean, as I said, unfortunately, Ratcore Gamer losing most of his army here to No Chance and Blizzard 42. And Blizzard can, I mean, just keep microing this all day long. Misclick on deer, man. Usually, what I just do is if I have any sort of army out, I try and just kill the deer preemptively. So you know, they never present an issue over there. And okay, so Dranzer is deciding to stay on 1 TC. I believe 4 will be on 2 at least. So yeah, 4 is booming on 2 TCs at this point. What about that core game? I think he has to go for a 1 TC push because he doesn't have a lot of army over here. I mean, neither does Blizzard 42, of course. Blue versus red. About to not happen, yeah. But I mean, Ranzo, you've got a pretty bad hill over here, right in front. So honestly, I I would work at trying to capture that. But oh man, so Bloodless actually loses a few villagers, I assume, and the fact that he's got a TC foundation, which should go down to these crossbows. Yeah, which means that Bloodless will unfortunately lose. I mean, not only the villagers that he's lost here, but the fact that he's about to lose 100 stone. Or he should lose, assuming Bloodless is not able to take these out, which he is. Okay, fair enough. So Bloodless but man, Bloodless is just sending. Okay, so he's sending quite a few more villagers. He's sending 5 forward, which means the TC will go up. But yeah, I mean, just about. But yeah, so unfortunately now this means that Transa's lost pretty much his entire army. The one that he had sent forward. So he still got crossbows in his base and some in his archery range. But I mean, fair enough, it wasn't denied, but yeah, the delay over there and the fact that he sunk his resources into a TC that was not coming up initially, yeah, so that put Bloodless at a slight disadvantage, but then he's got a massive army over here. So he's got 34 crossbows, and Dranzer on the other side has got 30 of them. And Dranzer has ballistics as well, as I can see here. Or he's just researching it, okay. But yeah, I mean, on this side, man, we've got Bloodless with the Botkin upgrade. On Dranzer's side, he's got the armor upgrade, but for some reason, he's losing more numbers here compared to Bloodless. And Bloodless now doing the smart thing, he's just using the hill for the extra attack. And man, Fur is just moving in with his army. Unfortunately, No Chance has 11 knights. Now, let me just try and find where they are. Ah, so oh, okay. So No Chance his army was over here protecting Blizzard 42. Unfortunately, now this means that Bloodless is getting hit by all of Fur's knights. And Fur has a pretty big ball of knights here. So Fur has got 18 knights. Compare that to No Chance's 14, and fair enough, No Chance has the second armor upgrade now, but Magyars being Magyars, they get the free attack upgrade anyway. So Fur has the extra attack over there. Yeah, the new patch should be interesting to see. I mean, how it changes the balance and everything else. Unfortunately, we won't be including the new civs for most of the tournament, I assume. If it is balanced, then maybe we can take a look at it. But I mean, as it stands, yeah, we won't be including the new civs, and we'll be playing on the current balance patch as well. And some pretty close fights going on here. So Latcore Gamer and Blizzard 42, I mean, they seem to be having fights. For his, he has left quite a few knights over here for his protection. But yeah, so this side, I mean, what happens is these guys decide to fight on a hill. Most of them die and they just run back. Whereas on this side, at least there is some to and fro going on. So we've got four who will. Oh man, so Dranzer is about to be raided. Dranzer actually has two TCs over here, fair enough. And let me just check how many archery ranges. Okay, so Dranzer's on 3 archery ranges now. And Fur, meanwhile, is on 5 stables, or is about to build 5 stables, and he's got 3 TCs. What? Oh man, that core gamer, man, that's pretty unlucky over there. This is actually a nice TC here by Blizzard 42, building it on the other side of the gold, which of course means that, he won't be threatened on his gold over here. Even if these guys decide to camp on the hill, they might be able to range the TC, but nothing much more than that. And on this side, wow, we see Bloodless is already at the forward siege for, I think. See, here's the thing. So, during all this time, No Chance's eco has been completely safe. So has the other pocket in the form of Fur. And we've just got the flanks fighting on each side. And wow, meanwhile, we've got Bloodless who's already clicked up to Imperial Age. So that's pretty interesting. And let's see how many TCs he's on. Right, so Bloodless is still on 2 TCs, and I think everybody's taking a breather at this point, except for No Chance, who is trying. I mean, he's trying to get into first base. For TC might be denied. Let's see if he patrols those knights on this side. Oh man, so he does not see the TC coming up, and I mean, oh, he does, which means that we might see for not being able to build this TC over here. Uh, Extremely greedy on his side. For 4, I mean, he's trying to go for a full TC boom, which, of course, yeah, you need the walls over there. But then on the other side, we've got No Chance also getting raided with his on his outside TC or whatever. And yeah, so some idle eco on both the pocket sides. On this side, yeah, so we can see that No Chance has managed to get inside first base, of course with the overchops and everything else. Now, we've got Does no? Oh, okay. So No Chance does not have the second attack upgrade yet, and we see Dranzer who's also clicked up to Imperial. So yeah, I mean pretty much in all of this, No Chance. Of course, he does have the resources now. He can click up. For meanwhile, does not have the resources. So yeah, that's pretty tragic for him. That oh man. So if Fur needs to click up to Imp as soon as possible. And No Chance, meanwhile, I think he's not paying attention or whatever because, yeah, he needs to click up as soon as possible. And of course, I mean, if he manages to do that, there's a pretty good chance that he can completely kill off for. But yeah, I mean, on this side, we've got both the flanks who got to Imperial Age. Let's see. What's the will difference? So you can just see it on the top over here. So we've got 95 villagers for No Chance. We've got 76 for Bloodless, and we've got 100 for Blizzard 42. And these are the military numbers, so you can just check it on the other side as well. And man, 4 is Four is in a bit of a pickle over here because of course he has no resources to click up to Imperial Age, and Dranzer could sling him the resources if he wants to, considering the fact that he is an imp. But Dranzer is about to get pretty hard as well by these knights from No Chance. And man, so No Chance, of course, he's going for his chivalry upgrade, which makes his tables work faster, and he's going for the attack upgrade over the armor upgrade, of course. But yeah, and meanwhile we've got capped rams as well being queued up by Bloodless. I think, man, this is about to be decided pretty soon over here because yeah, Dranzer versus Bloodless should be fine, considering the fact that Dranzer's playing as the Ethiopian, so his Arbalest, of course, will be better than the Mongol Arbalest. But yeah, I mean, you've got this massive ball of knights from No Chance over here. And the moment No Chance gets to Imperial Age, I assume, I mean, he has the resources to get to the Cavalier. So yeah, I think this is looking like a pretty decisive move here. And Transfer is deleting his houses. I assume to, get rid of that choke point that Bloodless was using. But, yeah, I mean, we've got No Chance just clicked up with Cavalier. He's got 17 knights over here. And, yeah, so there are these guys. They are moving forward. They are about to be Cavaliers. And we've got Latcore Gamer clicking up to Imp before 4. Honestly, I would have preferred this castle over here, but yeah, I mean, fair enough, not that big a deal. Still protects his gold, but I mean, here's the thing: these guys on this side, they haven't done a lot of work. Latcore Gamer versus Blizzard 42. I mean, like I said, these guys have been fighting over this hill, and yeah, I mean, mate, that castle is not going up. Pretty ambitious over there. Just a slight bit of misplay, and yeah, so that is a nice castle. But yeah, now we've got No Chance with his cavaliers. I assume these guys are heading towards Fur's base, and yeah, so Fur can just click up now if he wants to. He's getting his buildings up, I assume. So yeah, he should be about to click up any second now. But yeah, I mean overall, yeah, this is looking pretty dire for 3-man. So even though 4 is trying to raid on Bloodless's side, there's not a lot that he can do at this point. And yeah, we've already got No Chance hitting 4. So 4 is going to lose a bunch of farmers. He's going to lose these lumberjacks as well. And I mean, even though 4 has 103 villagers, and so does No Chance, I mean, there's this clear difference in the tech, right? So yeah, man, this is about to be a decisive battle over here. And on this side, we've got Bloodless already with siege rams and arbalest. So, and we've got the paladin upgrade coming in for No Chance as well. So yeah, I think the MVP of this game has definitely been No Chance. Pretty clinical performance here. And No Chance now heading towards Ranzer. He's inside first base as well. And yeah, I think this is about to be a GG very quickly. On this side, yeah. So that core gamer has a couple of castles, but unfortunately they are being trapped down. And even though that core is in him, I don't believe is producing any of his own traps. So that's pretty sad. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you can just check out the villager difference. So we've got a total of 334, 35 villagers for Land Clan. On the other side, that's like an 80 villager difference. Same thing on the military side. So yeah, overall, I think there's like 110 more units. And yeah, there we go. So Fur just decides to call the GG at this point. Really well played by Land Clan over here. No chance managing to get to Imperial Age, I think, yeah, and getting to the Cavalier and the Paladin upgrade. Meanwhile, so Ford did not even manage to get to Imperial Age, yeah. So that's pretty sad on his side. So I mean, overall, even if he did manage to pick up, which I don't believe he did because he's got a bunch of resources, yeah. So I mean, the game was decided pretty much, when these guys got to aim. No chance and start this, by the way. Yeah, you could have actually slung quite a lot of your resources, man. But yeah, exactly. Full pop, but unfortunately, there's not a lot that you guys could do, to come back from that situation. Let's take a look at the stats here. So, Bloodless is surprisingly the MVP over here. Personally, I feel that No Chance came through as the MVP for me because yeah, I mean the guy basically just got to Imperial Age and destroyed everybody else. I mean Bloodless versus Dranzer was pretty close. There was a lot of to and fro, but yeah, so No Chance basically made the difference on this side. And hey, thanks for the follow. Looking at the economy numbers, yeah, so pretty massive difference over here between No Chance and First. For at about 20,000 food, No Chance almost 22,000, and some tributes being sent. I assume they would be after the Imperial Age, so no issue over there. And yeah, clear difference in the gold collection as well. And yeah, I mean, as I said over here, this clear difference in the upgrade times, 40 minutes for No Chance and 37 minutes for Bloodless. So pretty amazing game over there. And society wise, so Latkor Gamer unfortunately had just 80 villagers, and meanwhile his other flank was with 102 villagers. So yeah, uh, and this is the timeline. So fair enough. Let me just update the scoreboard over here. So we've got one for Land Clan, not for 3 man. So and we can go to game 2 now. So we've got a team change, which means I'll just have to change my overlay. So give me a second here. Yeah, so let's go. We've got Transer playing as the Portuguese. I assume he's the flank. We've got Fur who's playing as the Lithuanian. So, man, even if you have Lithuanians, it's not you who's playing them. That's pretty awful. And finally, we've got Latcore Gamer who's playing as the Italians. Over here, we've got Blizzard 42 playing as the Japanese. We've got Warpy playing as the Persians. And we've got Bloodless playing as the Vikings. So, No Chance has been benched. I assume because he was considered too OP. So yeah, No Chance is sitting this one out, and we'll see what this team is able to do now for Land Glen. And I mean, of course, we are playing on 4 lakes, so there will be some naval action on this side. I mean, the pockets, of course, get their own lakes, but the flanks will be fighting over these two other lakes, so that should be pretty interesting to see. Better civs for Land Clan, most definitely, yes. They've got Persians and Japanese, two extremely nice hybrid civs, and they've got Bloodless, who's playing as the Vikings, of course. So, I mean, on a hybrid map, Vikings does not give you any sort of an advantage, but the fact that their team bonus gives them cheaper docks. No, no, but they get the cheaper docks, right, as a team bonus. So that is nice. And on the other side, we've got Lithuanians, Portuguese, and Italians. So Italians would be better on a pure water map, not on a hybrid map, which this is. But yeah, I mean, whatever. We'll see how the game goes, right? Because I personally don't believe saves can affect the outcome that much. Certain bonuses, yes, most definitely, but overall, yeah, I refuse to believe that you can lose because of some slightly bad saves. And so that that's a funny gold spawn over there. And let's just take a look at the maps, of course. So we've got Dranzer, who's got a nice wood line over here. Anything at the back? So okay, most of his resources are at the back, which can be protected. And 4x is usually quite easy to wall up, so that should be fine for Dranzer at least. I mean, especially considering the fact that he's got both his stones and one of his main gold and his secondary gold at the back, whereas his other secondary gold. Or maybe you don't get the extra secondary gold. I'm not sure actually. For the pocket, we've got Fur, who's pushing deer. Fair enough. For a second I assumed he had lamed somebody else's sheep, but yeah, he hasn't done that. That's just his six sheep that are remaining because he's using the deer at this point. But taking a look at his map, so I mean he's the pocket, so there's slightly less aggression usually. But we'll see, what the strategies are. But anyways, his main gold is pretty safe. His back is slightly open, I would say. But I mean, yeah, walling for personally for four should not be an issue. And yeah, so a bunch of acrobatics to get the boar to get under the TC, which is something that Zatkor was not able to do. So his boar dies outside his TC, but yeah, it's still pretty close. Not an issue. Uh, Zatkor Gamer's map is actually pretty awful. I mean, he can wall up to the edge of the map here if he wants. Personally, I would not like these walls if he goes to the edge of the map, but yeah, I mean, there's still a possibility of doing that, but yeah, his sides are pretty fucking awful. Secondary gold here. I mean, he did have a front main gold in the previous game, and he wasn't really attacked on that side. And since we've got Blizzard 42 as his opponent's rank this time as well, I expect that there won't be that much aggression happening on this side. So, Hardcore gamers over here. What is surprising is he's okay, so he has a dock up, right. I for a second I forgot. He had to walk all the way over here to dock up. But anyways, on this side we've got Blizzard 42, who's already got a couple of fishing ships out, and his map. Luckily, this guy has got a backwood line, so he's deciding to use that. But his front is completely open. His golds are pretty awful. So are his stones, and he's got a massive hill over here, right outside his base. And Poppy, yeah, so this is this is what I consider a classic 4x map. I mean, yeah, apart from the fact that this side is completely open, Woppy can easily wall up if he wants to. This wall over here is easily doable. I would personally, do that. And on this side, yeah, just maybe send a couple of villagers to do the walling, but yeah, it's definitely doable. And okay, so we've got Bloodless, who's already clicked up to Feudal Age. So has Blizzard 42, and Woppy is just about to click up. As we can see, he's getting the Loom upgrade. And on this side, we've got Fur, who was pretty early with his Feudal up. So yeah, he should be in Feudal the first. And finally, we have Dranzer, who's also clicked up. And any fights happening over the docks? Wait, what? So Dranzer has not decided to go for any docks, and neither has Bloodless. So, okay, Bloodless is using this dock, which makes sense, fair enough. But wait, Transer does not have any docks up at this point. So, I wonder what his plan is. And yeah, so I think four is able to deny the walls from coming up, but yeah, no villager picks over there. Let's look at the TC idle time. So, Woppy with a minute and a half of idle TC time, and similarly for Latcore Gamer as well. And Dranzer being a usual pest, so he's lost some HP on his scout, but wait, what is Dranzer doing over here? Yeah, man, I am just looking at it. So Dranzer managed to get a will inside somehow. Unfortunately, the will has been spotted, so this lady either dies or he'll have to send a replacement because Okay, I mean, Dranzo can still, manage to sneak in a villager from here, but yeah, this looks doubtful over there. So, yeah. Dranzo, what were you doing with that villager? Please tell us. So, on this side, we've got four who's already docked. We've got Ratkur Gamer who's already got his dock up. Dranzo going without any docks. On the other side, we've got Warpy and Bloodless who are both docking this side of the lake, and Blizzard has gone for this side. So, unfortunately, on this side, Blizzard's most definitely alone. So he needs some protection if Latko, sends any villagers forward to dock. But apart from that, yeah. So finally, we have Warpy just about to reach the feudal age, and let's just take his resources here. So Warpy is definitely going for a fast castle. Nobody's contesting the X. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got four with the fire galleys out over here. Unfortunately, no fire galleys over here, but then it would be a pain in the ass to actually, send your villagers and, place a dock over here. So that's not happening. On this side, yeah, so Bloodless should be able to, get a dock up without any sort of resistance because Dranzo, I assume, does not know that docks exist. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lanclan have a clear advantage because we've got Warpy who's just clicked up to Castle Age. Fur, meanwhile, is going with his scouts, and I believe, yeah, so they are just about to hit Warpy. Warpy has a spear here, but yeah, I mean, these four scouts should, be able to make short work of that spear if they actually engage, but I think he's trying to get a couple of villager picks before he decides to engage with the spear. Gravity, if you know the results, please do not share them because I personally don't know the results, so yeah. Please don't spoil the results for me and whoever has not watched these games or talked about them in the voice chat. So yeah, we've got Dranzo already forward. He's got his archers hitting Bloodless right now. Dranzo doesn't have Bloodlines yet. Let me just see if he has a blacksmith up. Okay, so he has a blacksmith. And meanwhile, we've got Warpy who's already about to hit Castle Age. 30 seconds or so. He's researching Bloodlines. We've got the armor upgrade coming in. So that's pretty nice. But I mean, yeah, Bloodlines economy has been pretty idle for a while here. And four scouts also doing quite a bit of work over here. But of course, they won't be able to do much because, yeah, Warpy is just hit Castle Age. And I assume he's about to start adding some knights or camels. So Bloodless, yeah, man, Bloodless needs to find. Okay, so he has this wood line over here. I don't understand why he's wasting his, villager efficiency by, putting too many over here. He can just decide to use this or even this wood line if he wants to, or maybe even this one. I mean, he has enough options if he decides to go for that. Dranzo, okay, so he has fletching, but I think he's lost HP on these. I am not sure if he lost any archers here, but yeah, fair enough. Meanwhile, Hardcore Gamer not walled yet, and I don't believe he's going for any forward docks. No, he isn't. So yeah, at this point, it's pretty calm on the naval side at least. Nobody contesting the four lakes. And yeah, so we've got Warpy already out here with his three knights, and what that means is these archers, of course, go down. Feudal archers, of course, they don't stand a chance against knights. So Dranzo with, let me just check. So Dranzo's got 11 archers, which, I mean, it would be smart for him to just keep these archers inside. And surprisingly, they seem to be going for some team walls over here. But, I mean, for and Hardcore Gamer, yeah, I don't expect those walls to ever be possible. And on this side, Dranzo, what are these walls, Dranzo? So why are you going for one layer over here and a second layer over here? So Dranzo being Dranzo as usual. And we've got Warpy about to go towards Dranzo's base. Dranzo, of course, I think he's been told by his captain or four to, do multiple layer walls because, I mean, if he cannot get one layer of walls up properly, yeah, 2 layers of improper walls should be even better, right? So this is vault, but then we've got a galley over here by Bloodless. Unfortunately, no upgrades yet on these galleys, but lovely. So we've got Dranzer doing Dranzer things. Woppy is already inside, and yeah. So these archers which are supposed to be safe inside his base have all died. And Dranzer sending some back, but which I mean, it's not a smart move at this point. He's just blocking first knights, and yeah, Dranzer is about to lose his entire archer mass. So I mean, Dranzer still has about 10 archers, but they are camping inside his archery ranges, and we've got Bloodlust already forward. Okay, so he's got fletching now, but yeah, I mean, there's no way Four can even engage with this army over here. I mean, he is doing it, of course, but at this point, I expect Warpy to just start making camels. Let's look at the upgrades. So Warpy's got the +1 armor upgrade, nothing else. On this side, Fur has got the +2 upgrade. And of course, Warpy does have Bloodline, so there is that. But yeah, I mean, weird why these guys did not decide to take the fight. Wait, is Warpy adding in camels? Yeah, so there we go. So Warpy is already adding the camels. So, and plus the fact that, the Persian knights have the extra attack against the archers. So, I mean, Warpy can basically just spam any sort of cavalry and it would win against this. As long as, yeah, has the upgrades, of course. But, yeah, so Dranzer is placing an outpost over here. Fair enough. But, yeah. So no lakes being contested yet. Yeah, yellow still has just a +1 upgrade. And we've got Bloodless, who is also clicked up to Castle Age, should be there in about 90 seconds. So yeah, green was +2, most definitely. But I mean, once these camels come out from the Persian's player, there's not a lot that knights can do. Green stats. What stats do you want to see? The KD? Oh, okay, so this is the idle TC time you've got. This is the number of villagers that he has killed and his villagers dying. Apart from that, he's got a couple of idols. He's on 2 TCs, so Warpy is on 3 TCs as we can see here. And some nice booming going on. He's getting the +2 armor upgrade now, which has just come in for him. KT stats. Green's Knights, they have the +2 armor. And okay, so he's got the +1 now. I assume that's because of this monastery. So he's got, yeah, so that's one because of the relic, and one is the forging upgrade that he got. And right, so we've got a pretty big mass of knights here. So that's 13 or 14 knights for 4. We've got 10 for Warpy and 2 camels in addition. Number of stables. So we've got Warpy on still just 2 stables. 4 is on 3, which is nice to see. I mean, you need to get the production buildings up as soon as possible. Man, what the hell are these walls from Dranzer? I mean, Dranzer could basically just place a single tower over here, push the galleys away, and just, yeah, not rely on, making another layer of walls over here, because this is one layer that he's gone for. This is the second layer that he's going for. This is the third layer that he has not bothered to finish. On this side, we've got him team walling to 4. But, I mean, 4 is completely open over here. So, anybody can just walk in past 4's base and just go and get inside Dranzer's base if they want to. Lutkur Gamer not walled at the back. Oh, he still got a villager walling up. So, Lutkur Gamer is still at just 2 ranges, and just like the first game, these guys are basically just camping on hills or, deciding to fight over here. So, yeah, Blizzard just building a TC. And see, here's the funny thing. So Blizzard in the previous game, he did the smart thing by placing his town center in harm's way rather than his gold villagers. This time he has not decided to do that, which means that these crossbows can actually range the gold villagers over here. And yeah, so this archery range should be denied, at least temporarily. Nobody going for any siege that I can see. And meanwhile, we've got Bloodless already inside Dranzer's base. Dranzer, of course, with the overchop, so the walls don't work, as they never have. And yeah, so I don't think Bloodless has noticed this, but there's definitely an overchop here, so he can just waltz inside if he wants to. And Dranza with just feudal age archers. He's got the botkin now. The crossbow upgrade just comes in the nick of time. So I mean, yeah, this fight Dranza should be able to win easily. But I mean, overall, we've got fur on this side. He's yeah. So these knights, there are 20 of them. These should be slightly less. So yeah, that's 15 knights. But what is Bloodless doing over here? What's surprising is that nobody has got multiple, or at least Bloodless hasn't got multiple docks on this point because, I mean, of course, Dranza is not even, fighting for these. And just passing, I suppose. Right. So, yeah, I mean, this is a fight that Fur can definitely win. Let me just check Blue's upgrade. So, right, Blue, oh, sorry, Woppy's upgrade. So, Woppy does not even have a single attack upgrade at this point. And meanwhile, Fur's Knights are fully upgraded and they have the extra attack due to the relics. Yeah, I mean, Green is overfishing. Overfishing, I wouldn't say that, man. I mean, he's got his farms as well, but I mean, if you can use the fishing ships to, get the food income, why not? Because this would most definitely support his 4 stable production that he wants to go for. And yeah, so I can just show you guys the village allocations. So we've got 4 with 37 on food right now, which would include the fishing ships, of course. And right, so on this side, 4 is basically holding along with Dranza, but man, Dranza is losing quite a lot of army over here. And wait, you were doing a forward castle. Oh man, we missed this. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, putting up a TC over here would have at least, stopped the castles from coming up. But Ratcore Gamer, man, some nice, I mean, something nice to see here. This aggression after the previous game. But yeah, I mean, this definitely means that this TC is not coming up for sure. And we've got 4 going inside Blizzard 42's base. Blizzard 42, of course, cannot push because these knights are over here. And there's this castle, so of course this TC is about to go down. And with it, the access to the front secondary gold that he has. And unfortunately, his main gold is also pretty exposed. So once this TC goes down, Latcore Gamer can basically just camp here all day long and kill villagers on this gold. And right, so we've got Blizzard going for a defensive castle. I mean, honestly, I don't know what it protects at this point. And yeah, so Woppy. Okay, so Woppy is also coming forward. I assume this is for some sort of a defensive castle that he wants to build to save Blizzard. And yeah, so this is, I would say, a slightly better castle. Still, personally, I would have preferred if Blizzard had just deleted these farms over here and placed the castle over here. Would have been slightly better because as it stands, this castle for Blizzard 42 does not do anything. And on this side, what is going on? So we've got Transer doing his customary walling antics. Bloodless is pretty chilled and some small fights or skirmishes going on over here. But yeah, I mean, as we can see, most of the fight is over here. And yeah, I mean, as predicted, Latcore Gamer over here coming with this pretty epic move. We've got Bloodless who's again clicked up to Imperial Age, but this time we've got 4 who is clicked up as well. So 4 should be in Imperial way before Woppy. Woppy is just getting wheelbarrow at this point at 35 minutes, but yeah. So looking at the gold income, we can see that Blizzard has none. He's at 244 gold, and I don't expect the situation to change, unfortunately. Latcore Gamer has 530 stone, or yeah, so that's 526 stone. If he drops a castle here, Blizzard is effectively dead at that point. And right on this, man, that is another ballsy castle. So, extremely nice to see this aggression. Yeah, most definitely this is GG. I mean, Blizzard 42 is completely dead. Woppy will be spread thin because he has to go and protect both of his flanks. And the fact that 4 is now in Imperial Age, which means that, the upgrades will come in. And Lithuanian Cavaliers with the extra attack, of course. Yeah, this is pretty GG. And The Mangala might kill a crossbow or two, but yeah, most definitely, yeah, this is pretty much the GG. That core can actually, drop a castle over here. Would just finish it off completely. And looking at the villager numbers, so I mean the villager numbers aren't that big of a there's not that big a difference over here. We've got 250 to 266, but I mean just look at the military counts. We've got 23 total military for Lan Clan and 105 for Three Man Saw. And we've got the cavalry upgrade coming for 4. 4 is raiding the shit out of Bloodless's base. On this side, Latcore Gamer is doing an amazing job pushing Blizzard 42. And yeah, I mean, Warpy is still booming without any sort of threat to his eco. But yeah, I mean, once I think Bloodless dies, this will be called because yeah, exactly. I mean, 4 has 113 villagers compared to Warpy's 97, and he's got 18 cavaliers to these 15 knights and a single camel at this point, which can do nothing. And this castle is pretty epic as well. So, I mean, effectively, this gives him control over these couple of stone piles over here and the gold. So, Bloodless, even though he might have some gold or whatever at the back, yeah, I mean, he just decides to call it at this point. There's not a lot that could be done. So, an extremely nice comeback by Three Man Saw over here. And yeah, most definitely, not only is this over, my game seems to have crashed. So, just give me a second. I'll wait to see if the game can find its bearings or, yup, the game crashed. Maybe we can wait once. Well, you know what? Fuck it, yeah. Let's just restart the game at this point. Unfortunately, man, this means that we will not be able to see the stats of this game. And yeah, I honestly can't be asked to watch the entire game again to look at the stats. So, apologies over there. You guys can blame Microsoft if you want. And we'll go to the game 3. And this is how the scores stand at this point. So we've got Lan Clan who came in with the early victory. After that we have Three Man Saw with the equalizer. So game 3 should be pretty interesting. And this should be one of Lan Clan's home maps. So let me just check what home maps that they've got available for them. So Lan Clan can now have Hideout or Serengeti is what they can go for. And let me just load the replay for the third game. And let me just fix the scoreboard as well. So just give me a second here. We've got Lan Clan on this side and Three Man Saw best of 3. Yeah, so we have the third game, which is going to be Hideout, and I can just go live over here. So we've got Dranzer, who's playing as the Tatars. We have Fur, who is playing as the Cumans, Pocket, by the way, and we've got Latcore Gamer, who's playing as the Incas. So I think this is something that we've seen in every game here on Three Man Saw's side, where Fur decides to play the Pocket. It works usually, sometimes it doesn't work, like it did not in the first game, but yeah, so 4 is usually playing as the Pocket. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Bloodless, who's playing as the Malay. We've got No Chance, who's come back and is playing as the Khmer. So yeah, Poppy has been benched this time, unfortunately, and we've got No Chance. And finally, on the other side, we have Blizzard, who's playing as the Byzantines. Right. So yeah, I mean, this is the first time that we have Blizzard versus Dranzer as flanks. Because in both the previous games, of course, we had Blizzard going up against Latcore Gamer. And the deer, luckily, this time are inside the base, which I assume is the case with everybody else. Yeah, so slightly less micro. the less possibility of a villager dying to boar while trying to push deer at the same time, which is something that we've seen in this tournament. But yeah, this deer is being an absolute bastard, and that is unfortunately wasting more time than he would have liked, pushing it in. Man, just yeah, just kill it at this point. If it's like a tile or two away from your TC, don't bother trying to bring it, perfectly inside your base. And we've got that core gamer. Okay, so they've already found the flanks positions, at least for Bloodless, and we've got some TC pushing going, or rather TC weakening of the boar going on. What's surprising is that I think we've only seen one case where somebody lost a boar to TC fire, and man, this is unfortunate. So the boar deciding to run out, but yeah, still pretty close to the TC. So yeah. And we've got these sieves over here, so let's just take a look at the maps. So that core gamer's stone is pretty far forward, but then he's playing as the Incas, so uh, of course those villagers get the blacksmith upgrades and it shouldn't be an issue. Nobody has clicked up yet, of course, because it's not even 5 minutes, but we might see some form of towering action. Hopefully we see some form of towering action from the Incas player. And Bloodless on the other side, playing as the Malay, his gold is pretty safe. His stone, unfortunately, isn't safe. It's pretty exposed over there. For the pocket, we've got no chance. Who's got... So, yeah, so gold can actually be ranged, I believe. Or, if he's got villagers over here mining gold, those can be ranged by a tower. But, I mean, he's playing as the pocket, so that shouldn't be an issue for him. And yeah, unfortunately, Bloodless has got both his stone and his gold pretty far forward. So that might present an issue if Dranza decides to do some form of towering action over there. Yeah, meant to pick Magyar. Unfortunately, yeah, Magyar was not a possibility because the Civ was picked by three-man saw. So that excuse won't work. And yeah, just some standard stuff at this point. Let's just take a look at the idle TC time. So we've got about 30 seconds of idle TC for Bloodless. Maybe not used to playing as the Malay. And 22 seconds for No Chance. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got 15 seconds for Fur and 15 for that core gamer. And now we've got Blizzard who's got an idle TC. And a pitch of a lure for that boar, unfortunately, using the farm to collect the food. And yeah, so apart from that, we can see that 4 is already clicked up. Honestly, I don't know why that core is getting zoom at this point because this is hideout. So unless you expect some form of forward aggression from your flank, there's no reason to get zoom at this point. But yeah, there we go. On the other side, yeah, so Dranzo is still collecting his food. Wait. Let me just check the resources. So when can these guys actually click up? So Dranza should be able to just click up the moment these villagers deposit their food. I mean, he's got the 500 food. And yeah, so there we go. Dranza is just clicked up. We've got 4 who's just about to reach the feudal age. And that core gamer in about 90 seconds will be getting to feudal age as well. But I mean, we saw Bloodless get to feudal extremely early. So is he going for any sort of forward aggression? I don't see any buildings over here. I do not see even a barracks coming up for Bloodless. Uh, I mean, the fact that Malay get the faster age up times, of course, means that, even if he clicked up at his standard pop or whatever, he would get to feudal age before anybody else due to the faster up times. But yeah, I mean, he's not going for any sort of military over here in feudal. And usually we've seen this, if one side goes for any sort of feudal attack and the pocket, if they can, back him up properly, that could decide the outcome of the game. But then we've seen it going the other way as well, where the team going for feudal aggression usually ends up just losing. So yeah, we've got Ranzo who's reached the feudal age now finally, and we've got No Chance who's already clicked up by the way to Castle Age. Four meanwhile is booming on two TCs. Of course, he's playing as a Cumin, so he does get that. Yeah, I don't think he's going for a tower, and I don't like that archery range position because, I mean, the bad luck that you can have in spawns can be pretty awful over here because you might have some archers spawning over here between the house and the archery range, which means that those archers are effectively wasted until you delete the house and the palisade walls. And on top of that, if he's got any archers spawning on this side, he'll have to just walk around this entire, this blacksmith or whatever, and which will waste a bunch of time. Khmer Malay double elephant play. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Should be interesting to see, if they decide to go for that. Because it should be viable if you look at it that way. The only issue is that Fur will usually have a better boom than the other pocket, considering the fact that he's playing as the Cumans. So yeah, they usually have one of the best booms in the game. And for we've got Bloodless who is going for his double archery range. He's going for a blacksmith. And as I was saying over here, so now these archers, they'll have to move a long way before they can actually, and he had actually even walled in his archers by placing a house over here. So yeah, that's ideally what you want to do is, just place your production buildings behind the wall. And if required, you can just delete the front palisade walls, which he seems to have done over here, at least for one tile. But sometimes in the stress or whatever, you end up deleting your archery range, which is something that I've done personally. So yeah. Khmer made TCs. He's going for the 3 TC boom now. I mean, he's got his 4 villagers building each TC, or 3 on this one. But on this side, 4 is just getting his wheelbarrow upgrade, so I assume he's about to click up after that comes in. I mean, he can queue both the things simultaneously, owing to the fact that he's got 2 TCs, but yeah. Yeah, at this point he's got just 8 on food, but the thing is he's got 17 on wood. So my assumption is that he's going to place a bunch of farms, once he gets the wood banked up. It shouldn't be an issue for him over there at least. And we've got Latko Remo who's finally moving forward with his archers. On the other side, okay, so fair enough, this will be a feudal fight. There's not going to be any sort of, this thing where one side, but why is he not going forward with these? I mean, Vladis has built up a pretty nice second layer of defense, even if these walls go down. But then he's got his own archers sitting inside his archery range. And okay, so these guys don't have any upgrades right now. I don't see him queuing up anything yet. And yeah, so these guys will be going forward. Looking at the military cons, we've got 15 archers for that core gamer. On the other side, we've got Bloodless with this 7, but then Bloodless has just clicked up to Castle Age. So these guys will be crossbows in, I don't know, about a minute or so. On the other side, we've got 4 who's clicked up. He's searching bloodlines and he's going for his gold mining upgrade. So, yeah, I mean, Dranza's already in Castle Age. The thing is, I was expecting these guys to go for some sort of feudal aggression. Zatkur did push his archers and skirms out, but yeah, I mean, I don't think there'll be a fight. And at this point, he would be smart to just pull his entire army back, at least until he gets to Castle Age. Which, I mean, it will be incredibly long because he does not have the resources to click up yet. So, Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, a pretty messy archery range over there. And again, this can present an issue, if your archers spawn on the wrong side. If you've got an army over here, these guys spawn over here, and you want to pull them in, it'll be a massive pain in the ass. But overall, yeah, so pretty much everybody is just booming. No Chance has not made a single military unit yet, uh, nor has Four for that matter. And Four finally in Castle Age, so he's getting his third TC down. And I assume, yeah, so there we go. We see the first knights coming out. He's already on 3 stables. No Chance, meanwhile, I mean, of course, he's playing as the Khmer, so he does not need his barracks to get his stables up. But yeah, so No Chance, I think, is deciding to not do any sort of aggression currency, and no sort of wall into the edge of the map or whatever. So right, we've finally got Dranza moving forward. Does he have ballistics at this point? I don't see a university actually. So yeah, no ballistics for Dranza. He Wait, what? He does not have the Botkin upgrade yet. Okay, fair enough. He does not have the food for it, and unfortunately, just 3 villagers on food and 13 on gold. So, I mean, he can keep producing from multiple. Wait, how many? He still has just 2 archery ranges. At this point, yeah, I would have preferred if Dranza was at least on 3 archery ranges, but yeah, he needs to get the Botkin upgrade as soon as possible. On this side, no chance. Oh, sorry, Blood is still booming, so no sort of an army over here. I mean, he's got his crossbows. He's got 18 of them. Yeah, I know it's fast castle crossbows, but where are your upgrades? Okay, yeah. So finally we see, the Botkin come in, and Latkur gets to Castle Age as well. So yeah, crossbow and Botkin coming in for him as well. Not worth the upgrades. Yeah, but you were in Castle Age, right? Okay, fair enough. But I mean, I guess they come in at the right time because yeah, you just decide to hit them now. And so this is 20 crossbows versus how many are these? So these are 26 and they have Botkin already. So yeah, I mean, it should be pretty obvious which way the fight's gonna go. As long as Blizzard can take this fight properly, because Ranzer might even lose a couple of crossbows to TC fire, which he does. I mean, he does do. And over here we've got Four who's coming forward with his +2 knights. Wait. I think he's deciding to completely bypass Bloodless over here. There is a chance that these guys are going straight for No Chance. Because I mean, of course, they've scouted the enemy location. So yeah, this is most definitely these guys going straight for No Chance. And No Chance has just 4 knights at this point, and with 0 upgrades. So No Chance might actually be caught unawares over here. On this side, yeah, so Dranzer, I think, lost quite a lot of his army on Blizzard side, and finally he's on No Chance's side. So yeah, No Chance, I think, playing extremely greedy over here. He's getting raided on this side by Dranzer, on the other side by Four, and I mean, the fact that this gate has gone down. So yeah, I don't see a bright future here for No Chance. I mean, not unless these guys manage to, come and save the pocket, which, I mean, it seems unlikely at this point. We've got, how many knights is it for? So that's 11 knights for 4, and this is still not enough to take down a TC, of course, but yeah, he can raid the shit out of No Chance at this point. No Chance with 82 villagers compared to 96 for 4. And 4 has way more military. That's 22 knights to 5 for No Chance. And Ratcore Gamer also coming in here, designing the siege workshop. And yeah, so this, I think No Chance just played extremely greedy. And there wasn't a lot that can be done. No Chance has left the game. You've got Bloodless, man. Bloodless, without fail, gets to Imperial Age before anybody else. And he's got a pretty nice military here. So there is that. And 4 will, I think he'll end up losing quite a lot of his knights. But I mean, Zatkor has got this massive ball of 31 crossbows. So yeah, I think this is over. No Chance is dead. He's got 71 villagers, hardly any military. And looking at the numbers, he's got 16 on gold somewhere, which I assume is this. Okay, fair enough. So No Chance still has some gold income, but practically no food income at this point. He's got just 4 farmers. His entire eco is completely idle. And Bloodless, even though he gets to Imperial Age, I doubt he can manage to save No Chance at this point. Purple's base. Right, so okay, so you are inside Purple's base, losing a few crossbows to TC fire, but yeah, I mean, apart from that, yeah, this is pretty close to a GG. That core gamer is deep inside Bloodless at this point, and Bloodless will get the Arbalest upgrade. Meanwhile, that core, I don't think that core is in no mood to click up. We've got Fur who's already clicked up, so he should be in Imperial pretty soon. And yeah, I mean, once he gets to Imperial, human can, yeah, this looks to be over at this point. So yeah, I mean, for now, Purple basically sent his entire military to protect No Chance and lost quite a lot of his own. But oh man, I think yeah, we just missed this. Ah, so you want to see how you lost them? So even you missed it. But I assume, yeah, these archers standing here, considering the fact that there is no mangonel or whatever, I guess you just lost them to crossbows at this point. Yes, exactly. Deep inside Bloodless. What else can I say? I mean, the fact that this guy gets to practically the other side of Bloodless's map. And Bloodless has reached Imperial, but he's got just 4 Arbalests at this point. Compare that to 29 for that core gamer. And No Chance with the little military that he has at this point, 17 knights. Although on the other side, 4 does not have a lot. But yeah, I mean, these knights should easily be able to take these crossbows over here. And so some. I actually like these walls here. And maybe if he places a gate or a castle over here, that could be pretty nice. Meanwhile, Blizzard has managed to reach the Imperial Age. 4 has got to Imperial Age as well. And Dranzo's house being denied. But, I mean, yeah, apart from that, looking at the villager numbers here, so we've got 269 or 270 here for 3-man, so just 200. And the difference in the pockets is like pretty massive. We've got 93 for No Chance and 120 for 4. And 4 is pretty much expanding throughout the map at this point. And I expect him to drop a castle at some point because he's got 13 on stone. So yeah. Should be interesting to see where 4 decides to drop his castle. What is no chance doing? So No Chance is clicked up as well. Unfortunately, that raid was pretty bad, but he seems to have come back pretty strongly. We have 4 with 26 knights compared to 20 for No Chance, and 4 of course is about to have his converted to cavaliers now. So assuming Dranzo has the military, which he doesn't, he has just 8 crossbows at this point. I mean, 4 can single-handedly push because he's about to have, or he has 33 cavaliers now. And yeah, I think he needs Dranzo's support over here. And we have the Paladin upgrade coming in as well. Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll see elephants in this game. So stonewalling, which, I mean, like I said earlier, I personally like this because he's deciding to use this, these couple of wood lines over here to their full effect. And yeah, so this castle, again, a pretty nice castle over here. Personally, slightly forward, would have been a nice choke point, but yeah. And okay, so 4 is deciding to drop his castle here. Slightly more aggressive, I would have hoped, but fair enough. And we've got Blizzard 42 with a massive army of Arbalests, 45, and 30 of No Chance's knights. So yeah, I mean, Dranzo's production is going to go way down. Let me just see how many archery ranges he has. Oh man, so Dranzo's on just two archery ranges. He's about to build his third, which I don't assume, going up. So this is still a pretty close game, even after the fact that No Chance was rated pretty badly. They seem to have come pretty strongly. So the fact that No Chance has practically no military, sorry, not No Chance, Dranzo, he's even teching into cavalry archers at this point. But yeah, we'll see. Oh man, unfortunately, Fur is having to engage with his cavaliers before they become paladins. But okay, so fair enough. These guys just decide to pull back. And yeah, there we go. So we've got Fur with his paladins now. Should be able to make short work of these arbalists, assuming he can get a good place to attack them. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Dranzo just has no military at this point. I mean, he's got the villagers. I think he's just not got enough on gold, which you can just see it away. He's got just, I mean, not even 100 gold at this point. And we've got Dranzo collecting a relic as well. So I think he's more interested in collecting relics, I assume, to get his golden come. On the other side, man, yeah, this is the sort of production that I want to see. So that core gamer playing pretty strongly over here. You've got 42 obelisks for him. Compare that to 45 for Bloodless. Uh, Bloodless, unfortunately, yeah, is just camping this hill rather than going forward. Let me just see if these guys have the vision on the. Okay, so they know about the castle, which means that they know they can't push strongly even if they wanted to. And yeah, going for some stone walls of his own Bloodless. Unfortunately, the villager dies before she can build a single block. And on this side, we have elephants. So we do get elephants finally. Bloodless, I don't think he's going for elephants at this point. But No Chance does add his elephants. And yeah, so what exactly is happening here? Okay, so these guys are thinking long term. They've got some markets made. And yeah, I mean, at this point, personally, I don't understand, Dranzo not having the military on his side. I mean, he's got practically what that's 10 cavalry archers or heavy cavalry archers and nothing apart from that. And yeah, so here we've got Ratcore Gamer and for trapping down the archery range, of course. But I mean, he's got enough at this point. He's got 6 archery ranges, some of them in production. But yeah, I mean, production should not be an issue for him. Unfortunately, okay, so fair enough. They have the upgrades. So does that core gamer. Bloodless does not have the armor, but yeah, I mean these arbalists should be able to take these paladins easily. Unfortunately, yeah, this ball of arbalists behind that means Bloodless will lose quite a lot of his army. Yeah. So that core, yeah, doing the smart thing now, moving forward with his arbalest. Ideally, he needs to try and get on top of the hill. And on this side, we've got Blizzard pushing through. We've got the elephants from No Chance. Unfortunately, these heavy cavalry archers won't be doing anything. And fair enough, No Chance or Dranzo has a monk, so we might get to see one conversion. But yeah, I mean, that monk is going down for sure. So this is still actually anybody's game here. Because Lanclan has caught up after the initial raids. It's just a matter of seeing if Bloodless can, hold on from this side. Because on the other side, Dranzer is practically with no military at this point. He's got just 14 total military. The difference is on this side, Bloodless has just 2 arbalests. So yeah, he lost most of them. And yeah, it's oh man. So we have, I think Bloodless is effectively going for a migration at this point because we have Zatcore Gamer and Fur moving forward. Although Zatcore Gamer is losing quite a lot of his crossbows to Castle Fire. And on this side, wait. So where is No Chance's army? Oh man. Yeah, I mean, looking at this now, this is pretty close to a GG because we've got no chance with just 16 elephants. Compare that to 42 paladins for fur, and he's got 20 hussars behind that as well. So he can practically raid the shit out of no chance now. Once they actually manage to get inside no chance's base, and yeah, I mean, we even got a stone wall here. With a straggler in between, these can be lamed as per the rules. So it should be interesting if Tranza decides to do that. But yeah, I mean on this side, yeah, this is pretty close to a GG for Bloodless, unfortunately. So even though No Chance has his 19 or 20 elephants and he's got his 115 villagers, yeah, I mean I don't see him coming back from this. Bloodless, I mean, because Bloodless is at just 66 villagers with one military, and yeah, it's difficult to come back from this now. And yeah, so on this side again, Blizzard is pulling back his military. He does not have a lot remaining. And man, just look at this ball of army, cavalry from 4. So yeah, I mean, once these guys get in, I think they'll just decide to call it. And something nice to see here, which is not, what we've like usually seen in any of these games is, any of the players making any sort of trash. So yeah, these halves making short work of the elephants as well. And yeah, there we go. So Bloodless just decides to call it at this point. And yeah, so this means that we have three-man saw going into the first semi-finals of the winners bracket. Khmer Scorpions, I personally feel like he was quite greedy initially with his 3 TC boom and no military. And I think once he got raided, after that he made a pretty nice comeback. But yeah, I mean, there was no coming back from the early raid. 4 had a massive advantage pretty much for the entirety of the game. So yeah, let's just take a look at the stats. So yeah, 4 with the MVP, just this massive number of kills for him, pretty massive army as well, and no chance MVP on his side. Personally, I feel like Blizzard played better than both of them, especially in this game. Unfortunately, yeah, he just did not have any sort of backing from his pocket. So yeah, Bloodless, I feel like he should have pushed initially because he had the military numbers, and I think he was just too passive in this game. And yeah, so economy wise, for pretty much leading all the stats except for the food counts and technology numbers. So yeah, Bloodless as usual getting to Imperial pretty quickly, but yeah, I mean I don't remember him, using his tech advantage at any point. So even if he got to Imperial Age, his military was basically just camping the hill rather than going forward and doing any sort of damage on Latkur Gamer. So even though Latkur Gamer might have been to, each age slightly later, so that's what 8 minutes of Imperial Age difference. They've got 4 minutes of Castle Age difference. He was never punished for that. And yeah, so finally we've got some similar numbers for everybody. Apart from Bloodless, of course, who's just on 78 villagers and Blizzard on 91. So GG's guys, let me just update the brackets for you guys. But a pretty close match, I would say. Three-man saw initially losing the first game, but then having a pretty nice comeback to win the remaining 2 games. And yeah, so this is what the winners bracket looks at this point. Let me just update the scene. So we have three-man saw in the semi-finals, and the second set that we'll be watching now will be the Sultans versus Team Arquebus. Thanks. Had fun having you. Please join us for the future sets as well. We have the semi-finals coming up pretty soon, and those should be live. So yeah. So yeah, anyways, as I was saying, we've got the Sultans versus Team Arquebus coming up next. Let me just point out the home map. So we've got Arquebus with a hideout and arena as their home maps, and the Sultans have picked Golden Pit and Oasis as their home maps. So let's just take a look at the civs for both the players, or both the teams rather. And yeah, so there we go. We've got Sultans on the left, and on the right we have Nitro, who's representing Team Arquebus. So let's just fast forward through this. And Sultans decided to ban Burmese, I assume, because we've got Team Arquebus, who has picked Arena as their home map, Arena and Hideout. So yeah, Burmese is definitely an insta ban at that point, and they've banned the Lithuanians as well. And meanwhile, on the other side, Arquebus has banned Britons and Ethiopians. So pretty much the two best archers in the game have been banned. And Sultans has then decided to pick Franks, Saracens, and Vikings. So Vikings and Franks, two of the best civs in the game, I would say. They've got them. On the other side, we've got Arquebus with Mayans, Vietnamese, and Magyars. Then we have Teutons, Cumans, and Portuguese for the Sultans. Finally, on the other side, we have Persians, Koreans, and Japanese for Arquebus. And I mean, the final three picks for the Sultans are Incas, Byzantines, and Italians. Um, okay, Italians is an interesting pick. We'll get to that. And on the other side for Arquebus, we've got Chinese, Tatars, and Berbers. So it should be pretty interesting to see, what sort of civs these guys decide to go for. I have the replay just loading up, so give me a second here. And welcome to the stream, Havaldar Bhau. Let me just update the overlay as well. So yeah, I guess we can go live at this point. We've got Nitro playing as the Magyars, playing as the Pocket, I assume, and we've got the first flank who is Mastermind playing as the Vietnamese, which is, I mean, pretty obvious considering you can see the flares over here. And the other flank for Arquebus is Purple who's playing as the Mayans. On the other side, yeah, exactly. Passive gameplay is always the culprit, right? We've got the Great One playing as the Portuguese as a flank. We've got the Pocket who is Sizzler playing as the Teutons. And finally, the other flank is Kilioas playing as the Italians. Italians on Arabia, pretty interesting. We shall see what these guys have in mind. So yeah, I mean, apart from that, we have a Vietnamese player, so let's see if there is any sort of laming that is about to happen. I mean, at this point, Mastermind is still just scouting his base. Right, so going to pick his sheep, and I guess he has found most of his sheep at this point, or rather all of them. The cow, for some reason, is just chilling next to the stone pile. But yeah, apart from that, Purple Man has found a sheep as well. And what about Nitro's? So, right. So Nitro's sheep are slightly far away from his base, but I mean, considering the at the back of his base, I don't expect them to be lamed. On the other side, Sizzler has found all of his sheep. We've got Kilioas who wait, Kilioas has not found two of his sheep, I think. Okay, he has now. And yeah, so let's just take a look at the map. So in the red we have Mastermind, who's got a pretty epic wood line. And yeah, so that wood line is pretty epic, and he's got his gold. I mean, even though it's exposed, there is a possibility of a tower doing some sort of damage if the tower was placed here. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, yeah, that main gold is pretty safe, and he can wall to the edge of the map without any real issues over there. His side is also pretty easily wallable if he decides to, just use the wood line to the stone, maybe to the stone and to the wood line on this side. His back is slightly open, but yeah, it shouldn't be a concern over there. Nitro, meanwhile, had a pretty awful map in the previous set that we casted, so, let's see if there's anything different on this side. Unfortunately, I think he's just forgotten about his cow over here. So he's got a couple of nice wood lines at the front. His stone is slightly far forward, but yeah, I mean that can be walled easily if he wants to. If he decides to, just go for the wood line to the gold and to the other wood line. But yeah, I mean his side is again quite exposed. And the other side, yeah, I think he can wall that up if he wants to. I mean, usually we see players, walling with 2, 2, 3, 3 villagers, so walling should not be an issue. It's not, an awful map like he had in the previous game, so, or in his previous set rather. And meanwhile, on the other side, for Purple Man actually has some pretty nice wood lines at the back, and his main gold is also pretty nice. Unfortunately, his side is quite open, and he will lose a. Okay, so he's playing as the Mayans, luckily, which means that he won't lose his villager to a boar, and he does manage to kill the Great One Scout as well during all of this. Let's just take a look at the idle TC time. On this side, the Great One has. Man, yeah, this is pretty awful actually. Uh, I mean, it's still allowed because he can collect his gold from three sides. There's one side, there's the second side, and from the third side. So, yeah, I mean, he can still, use the gold as some sort of a wall if he wants to. But honestly, yeah, the Great One's base is pretty shit. I mean, his secondary gold is pretty much outside his base on a hill. And if he even decides to use this gold, there's no way he can protect those villagers. I think his best option is to just tower this gold if there is any form of aggression from Purple Man and go from there. For the pocket, we've got Sizzler. Land Clan actually lost 1-2 to 3-man Saw. So 3-man Saw won 2 of the remaining games to win the set. But we did see some elephants in the set, so there is that. No Chance decided to go for elephants. Anyway, for Sizzler, I mean, we've seen Sizzler usually carrying the load of the entire team, and he's got a forward wood line. His back is pretty exposed actually, and yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pain in the ass to wall if he does decide to do that. I mean, more power to him, but yeah, this is pretty difficult to wall up for Sizzler. But at least he's got a safe main gold behind his wood line. So there is that. And finally, we have Kill Your Ass who wants to wall up the back of his base before the front of his base. And that is a pretty awful mining camp as well. Ideally, you want to place the mining camp on the side which has the maximum number of tiles visible, or other, tiles that you can collect. So on that front, his idea is correct. He's got 4 or 5 tiles over here which he can collect from, but then he just wastes 3 of those tiles by placing a mining camp right next to them. So wait, what? So Kill Your Ass. Not only does he decide to wall up the back of his base, he's put a barracks over there, which means that his militia will. Oh man. Kill Your Ass, if you're watching this, please, 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 please place your barracks over here. Your barracks should be right in front. These militia will take a. What is wrong with those TCs? So I've got this mod which, in the Dark Age at least, it does not show the roof over the TC. So you can see if there are any sheep or whatever under your TC that you might not be able to see properly. Happens due to age, so I use these mods. And so Killia is finally deciding to wall up the front. Unfortunately, those militia will not be doing a lot of damage at this point because Mastermind. Okay, so this is surprising. Mastermind could have actually walled to the edge of the map. Let me just see what is scouting there. So he has scouted this. There's no reason why he should be placing these archery ranges and this blacksmith over here. I mean, you place them here, and you've practically just finished your walls without, making even a single layer of palisade walls. And the snowman at arms are heading towards Mastermind, but then Mastermind already has both his archery ranges up. So, how much damage can actually be done with these 2 snowman at arms, actually, not even 3. Okay, so he does have 3. There's one and there's the other 2, yes. And we've got Mastermind already out with his archers. Is he researching fletching yet? So no fletching for him. And let's just take a look at their resources. So right, Mastermind does not have the food, neither the gold. But I mean the gold should be up pretty soon. He just needs the 100 food to research fletching. But yeah, so these snowman at arms just go down without doing any sort of damage. And yeah, now Mastermind can just move forward at this point. Meanwhile, we have on the other side Purple Man also moving forward with his archers. He's playing as the Mayans, so of course Mayans get the cheaper archers. And this whole over here, I personally I would love it if even right now if he's placing some palisade walls. Honestly, he needs to put a third archery range at this point because I mean yeah he should have the gold pretty soon to drop the third archery range. And Mayans, of course, they can try they can just go for the uh, archer spam. And oh man, we've got Scissor is just camping over here with his scouts, unfortunately, and he's about to basically engage with Nitro and Mastermind's archers. So Mastermind has fletching. What about Purple Man? So Purple Man has fletching as well. On the other side, the Great One does not. But he still managed to take quite a lot of Purple Man's archers out. But I mean, yeah, as I was saying earlier, this gold is going to be a proper pain in the ass for the Great One. I think he needs to place a tower here as soon as possible because if he doesn't, he's yes, there we go. The tower will go up. Honestly, I would have preferred if it was slightly further forward. But yeah, I mean, for the short term, I think that tower will be enough to protect him. And we've got Sizzler with the student scouts. Has way more compared to Nitro actually. So Sizzler has 9 scouts. Compare that to Nitro, who's got just oh man. So we've got some of these scouts over here. Oh man, this is pretty awful. So just some lack of communication, I assume, because Kilias is. Wait, what? Are these scouts stuck inside the gate? And yeah, meanwhile on the other side we've got Kill Your Ass who is running after these scouts from Nitro. But so Nitro scouts have managed to get inside, and these scouts for Sizzler seem to be stuck inside the wall. On the other side, Purple Man is retreating at this point. Okay, I wonder why because he's okay. Fair enough. I think he's deciding to go from a different angle. And yeah, so the gate completing means that Sizzler can, free his scouts finally. But I mean, overall, this is a slight advantage for Team Arquebus at this point because Sizzler has not been able to go forward to do any sort of attack on, the flanks or the pocket or whatever. And meanwhile, Nitro is just chilling at this point, and he's already clicked up to Castle Age, by the way. And on the other side, we've got Sizzler, who is queued up the wheelbarrow, I think, yeah. So he should have the resources to click up to Castle Age after this, but yeah. We'll have Nitro getting to Castle Age first. And yeah, I mean, again, this is a pretty nice thing. We've got Magyars versus Teuton. So Teuton, of course, their cavalry get the extra armor, but then Magyars get the free attack upgrades. So it should be a pretty close matchup. And yeah, I mean, as I was saying, Sizzler, I think at this point he's just going to be staring at walls. And meanwhile, where is Purple? Okay, so Purple Man has just decided to pull his army back, and Sizzler has still got about 2 minutes to go before he gets to Castle Age. So that is unfortunate. And looking at the villager numbers here, so we've got 36 for Nitro. Compare that to 37 for, or other villagers. We've got 37 for Sizzler and 36 for Nitro. Nitro, unfortunately, does not have much of an army at this point. Sizzler still got his 11 scouts. But yeah, I mean, pretty useless considering Nitro is fully walled up. Although, yeah, so he can still actually go inside Mastermind's base with his scouts if he decides to. But yeah, Mastermind has a pretty massive military. He's got 24 archers. So yeah, there's no point in, just wasting your scouts to this. These guys might still come in handy at some point in the future. And so yeah, I think Sizzler is pretty much full walled at this point. Ah, he's still open over here. Does he know about this? Oh man, so Sizzler does not know about this. There is a pretty massive hole at the back. And okay, so I was talking about this. Sizzler sent his scouts in, but I mean, what damage are these guys gonna do at this point? He has to run away with these. So just losing a bunch of HP on those scouts because I mean these quick walls by Mastermind were pretty nice. And yeah, so Sizzler I think is just deciding to waste all of his scouts because this doesn't make sense otherwise. And we already have Nitro coming forward with his knights. These are fully upgraded knights by the way, so these are already +2/+2 knights, and he's got 6 of them. So yeah, I mean even though we've got Sizzler who's already in Castle Age now, the issue here is that he seems to have not noticed that there's a hole in the back of his base. For everybody else, I guess, yeah. I mean, we've got Purple Man who's just about to hit the Castle Age. And how many archers does he have? So he's got 30 archers. Okay. And we've got Mastermind with 26. So these 30 are just about to become crossbows. Mastermind is also moving forward. And what's surprising is, there we go. So I was waiting for Mastermind to get his crossbow and Botkin upgrade, which he does finally. But yeah, I mean, with the support of these knights from Nitro, I think Kill Your Ass is about to have a pretty bad time. Because Kill Your Ass still has about 80 or 90 seconds to go before he hits the Castle Age. And Sizzler, even though he is in Castle Age, okay, fair enough. He also has the +2 knights now, so that's nice. But yeah, I think at this point, Kill Your Ass needs to get to Castle Age as soon as possible. And yeah, just get the crossbow upgrade. But he might still lose quite a few of his archers to this ball of crossbows and knights that Nitro has sent forward. So looking at the villager numbers here, we've got Kilias with just 28 villagers. So that is pretty unfortunate, and yeah, I think he's about to be driven off his gold as well. So yeah, I think the Great One, even though he gets to Castle Age, there's not a lot that he can do at this point. And meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Purple Man, who is also just going around the Great One's base. He hasn't managed to get in. Great One actually has a pretty nice base over here, pretty compact base that he's got. But I mean, yeah, there's not a lot that can be done on this side. Let's just take a look back over here. So Nitro, with his constant production of his knights, is also providing some pretty good support for Kilias. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Kilias just does not have the villager numbers. He's got 24 at this point, and he's got just 3 villagers on gold, out of which one is idle. So yeah. And right, so meanwhile on this side we've got Purple Man, and as I just say that the Great One also got his crossbow upgrade, so pretty much at the right time. But so the first game is on Arabia, the second and the third games will be on the home maps that have been picked by the teams, and whichever team loses the this game will get to pick the next home map, and same goes for game 3 if there is a game 3, because this is a best of 3. So yeah, I mean Purple Man with his crossbows, he's got both the upgrades. Meanwhile, the Great One does not have any armor upgrades. So I mean you can see Great One has lost pretty much his entire military. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Purple Man still with quite a lot of crossbows left. Over here, yeah, I mean this is looking pretty dire for Kill Your Ass. So even though Sizzler has his knights, there's not a lot that he can do, unfortunately. I mean, he's sending these knights forward to defend the Great One against those Mayan crossbows. But I think on this side, he's he's practically just left his flank to die. Because Kilioas with just 25 villagers, with 7 military, and these guys are basically just coming out and dying to this ball of crossbows. Can they come back? On this side, Kilias, I believe, is pretty much dead. We don't see either Nitro, Mastermind, or Purple Man collecting the stone for a castle. So, I mean, I don't think we are going to see a castle drop anytime soon. But, I mean, even otherwise, yeah, this looks pretty bad on this side. And on the other side, because yeah, so there we go. Sizzler just calls the GG because the Great One, even though he had some military remaining, unfortunately he did not have the stone to drop a second TC. I think because yeah, he spent his stone on this tower, and after that, yeah. Of course, I'm not saying that he should have built an extra TC or whatever, but yeah, I mean, this is pretty difficult for these guys. Once Nitro got to Castle Age, there's not a lot that could be done. So, yeah, there we go. GG's guys on the first game, so it goes to Team Archivist, and let's just take a look at the stats now. So we have Mastermind with the MVP over here. Purple Man also got a pretty nice KD, and Nitro actually did not have to do a lot with his military. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the issue here was that with the point system that we are using for the tournament, there's this thing where if you go for like one strong player or two strong players, you need to pick a weak player. So in this case, Kilias was the weak player, and yeah, unfortunately, his game sense still needs a bit of work. So yeah. But I mean, that is what we are doing, right? I'm pointing these small mistakes out, so if he's playing in the future, he can actually pick his map properly, or rather, pick his building locations properly. Yeah, these are recorded. The semi-finals will be live, and the finals will be live, of course. So Sizzler with the highest amount of food collected. Compare that to Nitros, who's got like 1,500 less food collected. But yeah, I mean overall, yeah, Nitro was I think able to outproduce Sizzler for pretty much most of the game. And yeah, so this difference over here, this 20-minute Castle Age by Nitro, compare that to 21 minutes for Sizzler. And honestly, Mastermind on this side was the production of his military. Yeah, there was no getting around that fact. So yeah, we go to game 2 for Archibus versus Sultans. Okay, so we've got the same players on both the teams, which means we can just go live. And this is being played on Oasis. Okay, so we've got Nitro who's playing as the Persians. We've got Mastermind who's playing as the Japanese, and finally we have Purple Man who's playing as the Chinese. On the other side, we've got for Sultans the Great One playing as the flank with Saracens. The pocket is Sizzler playing as the Franks, and finally the other flank is Kilias who's playing as the Vikings. And I mean this is something that we've noticed quite a lot in this tournament as well. So one player usually gets the rough end of the stick or whatever, and yeah, so Kilias is gonna have a pain in the ass trying to get a lumber camp up because these guys are going to have to walk a shit load of distance, just to get to the wood line. On the other side, so yeah, Scissor has some close wood over here, and same thing can be said for the Great One. On this side, we've got Mastermind, who's got yeah. So Mastermind can also place a lumber camp pretty easily. Same thing can be said for Nitro as well, although it is still a bit far. But yeah, I mean nothing compared to what the Great One has. And yeah, this guy can. I mean, if it was a couple of tiles closer than what it is right now, he wouldn't even need to place a lumber camp. So Purple Man, yeah, has some pretty nice access to wood over here. But I mean, apart from that, I expect both these teams to be able to wall up, considering they have one edge of the map that is pretty close to the edge of the map. So walling might be a factor here. But yeah, apart from that, should be interesting to see what these guys decide to do. So, I mean, on balance, I would say that the Sultans have the better civs in this game. They've got the Saracens, Franks, and Vikings. Compare that to Japanese, Chinese, and Persians. I personally would pick civs that the Sultans have got. Yeah, man, it happens sometimes, these extremely shitty map generations. But as long as they still have some access to wood close by, which Kilias does. So yeah, you can't really ask for a restart at this point. Uh, I mean, of course, if his resources were bugged or his starting resources like his sheep or whatever were inaccessible or something, then yes, definitely, the teams can ask for a restart at that point. And Sizzler pushing Dia at this point. He's got just 3 on wood, so I assume Sizzler is going for scouts. And meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Nitro. So surprisingly, Nitro also not putting a lumber camp over here. And why is he forgotten his llama over here? Should be interesting if he, just forgets it altogether or not. And Nitro's also going to go for a Scouts build order at this point because he's also got 3 on board. So yeah, should be nice to see some aggression in the feudal age because quite a lot of times you've seen, these guys they just decide to go for an FC or whatever, the pockets at least, and we are robbed of any sort of action in the feudal age. Unfortunately, we see that Mastermind has just lost his scout to kill your ass's TC. And looking at the TC idle time, so kill your ass with about 40 seconds of villager idle time, or TC idle time rather. And on the other side, Purple Man with about 80 seconds of idle time on his TC. So yeah, I mean, I wonder what that is about. And Purple Man seems to want to wall up the complete map over here, or I mean, to the edge of the map. Whereas on the other side, the Great One, I think, is going for safer walls at this point. 1 second idle time is the right. You've got 7 seconds of idle time, Nitro. And yeah, Purple Man just being a pest. But yeah, I mean, at this point, nothing's gonna happen over there. Yeah, I jinxed it, I suppose. I assume you were talking about your own idle time, but yeah, your comment did not age well. 13 seconds of idle time. You've got a bunch of idle eco time as well, and yeah, I think the Great One will manage to save his scout. What? Oh man, this is pretty unfortunate. So he had saved his scout, but then he ran back into the TC fire. So yeah. Uh, Kill your ass. Meanwhile, going for some pretty conventional walls this time. I mean, we've seen these guys' games where they've gone for some extremely ambitious walls. They've somehow managed to pull it off as well, quite a lot of times. But yeah, I mean, this scout fight, Purple Man is. I mean, at this point, I don't think he cares about that scout anyway. Oh, so it was 1 second, and when you typed it raised to 7 seconds. Maybe you shouldn't have spent your time typing. I mean, I know what you're talking about. But anyway, we've got Nitro, who's about 30 seconds away from his feudal age. On the other side, Scissor was able to click up faster, as you can see here. So he's just about to hit feudal age. And pretty much every other flank also has clicked up, so it should be interesting to see. Scissor slightly late with his barracks, which is why you can see he's using 3 villagers to place the stables. On the other side, yeah, so even though Nitro was slightly later to feudal age, I think the stables will come up at roughly the same time. And yeah, so Scissor stable is up, and I assume so is Nitro's, yeah. And I mean, as I was saying here, so Purple Man does actually wall up with. I mean, at this point, I would say these walls are better than what the Great One has gone for because he has spent more wood. Where, I mean, fair enough. If he could have placed walls here, but there would have been no way to reinforce them if there was any sort of attack. So even though he's spending slightly more wood, these walls can at least be repaired if he wants to, go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, Kill Your Ass is also walling up here. For some reason, he seems to have left a hole. I don't know why, possibly. Oh, okay, so that's not even a lack of scouting. And yeah, so Nitro has his scouts out already, and we have a pretty late man-at-arms coming in at 12.5 minutes. And unfortunately, these guys will not be able to do anything because Mastermind already has his archers out. Uh, I mean, although if nothing else, these snowman at arms are pulling the archers away from Kill Your Ass's base, which is where they would, be otherwise. And Kill Your Ass, unfortunately, has a massive gaping hole over here, which I don't think he has noticed. So he's getting his first archery range up, but I mean, as you can see, this ambitious walling means that there's going to be a lack of wood. And let me just check the resources here. So yeah, I mean, Kizio has okay. He will still be able to place his second archery range quite soon. On this side, we've got the Great One already up with his two archery ranges, and let's take a look at Purple Man. So fair enough, Purple Man also has his two archery ranges up, and Mastermind is finally moving forward. These archers, they have fletching already. These are Japanese archers, so pretty much standard archers at this point. And he's going up against the Vikings. So, yeah.
Hello, Sonic.
Yeah, hey, just 1 second, man. I need to fix the output of that Discord voice chat. So just give me a second.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So this is
Oh,
fixed.
yeah. Sorry for being late. I just got time now.
Yeah, that's fine. So anyway,
Yeah.
we finished casting your games,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Yeah.
uh, anyway, so what
Let's
I'll
get
do is,
back into the game.
yeah, yeah. So I am already here. This is about 15 minutes of in-game time. So I think what I'll do is I'll just keep casting, and
Yep.
you can possibly just look at the stream
Yep.
and cast on that. So anyway, we've got Mastermind who's already forward with his archers. These guys do have fletching, as I said earlier. On the other side, Kilias does not have fletching yet. He does have a blacksmith up, and let me just take a look at it. Oh, so he does not have the resources to get fletching either. And these scouts trying to get in at this point. What is hilarious is nobody seems to have noticed this massive hole in Kilias's base, or his walls rather. So they are wasting time over here.
Yeah. I don't think there's like many like people just trying to fight. Like they're just focusing on the fights, the army, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah, people tend to get like at this point of the game at least.
yeah.
But you see, there's like a little bit of difference in ego between Kill Your Ass and his opponent flank right now, and that might actually start hurting because it's such a boomy map.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got Scissor who's just about to click up to Castle Age, by the way. He has the resources. He's about to get his wheelbarrow upgrade coming in.
Yep.
So, yeah, Scissor should be able to click up anytime now.
I mean, they should also like realize like Scissor being the best player on the team, he'll have to go
Yeah,
better than
definitely.
the other bot lane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But, okay, so they will actually manage to get in over here because Kilias did not finish up the walls in time.
Yeah.
And, okay, so surprisingly, these guys not entering that. I mean, they could have gone in because it is still quite far away from the TC. And Nitro, he has his scouts with the +1 attack upgrade. Nitro's got forging on his scouts, by the way,
Hmm.
and the armor as well. And meanwhile, Mastermind has his blacksmith upgrades as well. So yeah, I mean, these guys are in from the other side again. And what's surprising is these guys are not managed, or they are not deciding to engage with anything. And Killua is just facing a tower here. Smart move actually, because I mean the fact that there's no walls now effectively means that they could otherwise just raid the shit out of his gold miners.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I think Purple Man's also about to just click up.
yeah, yeah. So
He's
Purple
clearing
Man,
the
he has his wheelbarrow upgrade, and yeah, he's
yeah.
just about to click up. He's got a
Yeah.
bunch of archers, so that's 15 archers
So
that he's
I
got.
think he's gonna start pushing the other side, and that's when the problem starts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's basically a question of how quickly Scissor can get to Castle Age. I mean, he does get to Castle Age now, of course, but it's just a matter of seeing how quickly he can start pumping his knights.
Yeah. And
And
also, if you see the shift difference, like Japanese, Chinese, Persians, they have very, very good imperial age.
yeah, exactly.
So, like, I don't see why the sultans are not trying to make a move here. Like, they know they have to go aggressive.
I
I
think, yeah, yeah, but I see the thing is they are about to make a move at this point, I assume, because we see Scissor already queuing up his armor upgrade, and
Mhm.
only thing I'm wondering right now is He's got two stables. Okay, so he is making knights out of both the stables now. Fair enough. The thing is, on the other side, the Great One is moving forward with his archers. He's got a pretty nice bunch over here. That's
Yeah,
20
I
archers.
believe he's gonna lose all of them because Purple Man is camping in one of the hills or
No,
in
no,
the
no. Purple
center.
Man is back inside his base now because
Oh,
Purple Man is also waiting for his Castle Age
yeah.
upgrade to come in.
Okay.
No, no. My thing is the issue on this side. So Nitro's already got his knights out as well, and these are plus two
Yes.
knights. Mastermind is just about to hit Castle Age in a minute or so, and he'll have his crossbow upgrade coming in. So at that point, what does Kilioas have on his side? I mean, he's got 18 archers, but he's not close to.
Yeah, he's not gonna be up. Like even though he's Vikings, he should have
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
more
I mean, he's
food.
got just 180 food, and
Yeah.
I think his villager
This.
allocation is pretty bad because he's got
Yeah,
14
only
on gold.
7. Yeah, I think he's forced to make more army maybe, or he's not. Like he's not changed his TC gather point.
Yeah, that that
That's what had
that seems to
happened.
be more likely. Although he has now set his gather
Hmm.
point to just, outside his TC. But I mean, he's got way too many on gold at this point. If nothing else, I think he needs to play some market as soon as he gets the wood, buy some food and try and click up as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Because
but
yeah,
you see, like they've actually matched the villager numbers at this point,
hmm,
but I think the difference itself is
yeah.
in clicking up, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
So I
the
mean,
thing.
even though these guys have pretty much the same number of villagers, they're not on the right resources, right?
Yep.
So you have Mastermind who's just about to get his crossbow upgrade. There we go. And
Okay.
we've got Nitro's knights. These are plus two knights now.
Yeah,
So
I think if these archers were actually in position, a lot of these knights could have like lost a lot of their HP here.
hmm.
But this was such a bad choke point for them. But yeah, like just because they were
Yeah,
not in position.
exactly, exactly.
And now he loses his blacksmith, he'll have to spend more wood on making another one,
Yes,
and then it's
and
gonna take even more
usually
time.
what happens at this point is that, at lower levels, if people's blacksmiths are destroyed, they sometimes
Yeah,
forget to make a new one. But oh, on the other side, we've got the Great One who's inside Purple Man's base, along with
yeah,
Sizzler and his knights. And
yeah. This is very good, but this I think they're focusing on the range because there's Arisen. But I
yeah,
think they should have tried to move on and try to take down the eco because Purple Man has already got a seed workshop
yeah.
equipped.
So
If
Purple
he
Man has
gets
a
a
siege
single
workshop
manticore,
with a mangonel.
yeah,
Yeah, and we've got the Great One doing the right thing here, staying away from the archery range.
yeah, this is good. This is good. Like he's just gonna try to range it, use his
Yeah, yeah, most
archers for
definitely.
the
And there are
damage.
enough knights over here to take down the Mangonel without any sort of an issue. Yeah, so there we go. Uh,
Okay.
Pretty nice play over here by the Great One and
And
Sizzler.
yeah, this is good. Okay, yeah, this is very good from the Sultans. Like they're working together. On the other side,
Yeah,
though,
yeah, but
Nitro
on the
has
other
been
side,
able
I
to.
mean, Kilios is pretty much dead because he's got five archers. He does not have the resources to click up at this point.
Mhm.
And I think, yeah, so now I think Mastermind and Nitro are about to head to Sizzler's base.
Yeah,
And
like
Sizzler,
I
I
would
think.
say, Purple Man he did not take any considerable damage, and now like I don't think Scissor will actually be able to wall off this
So I
side
mean,
anymore.
Purple Man is losing a TC, and these crossbows will go down to these knights plus the crossbows over here from the Great One.
Yeah, but on the other side,
Yeah,
Scissor is
exactly.
already getting raided.
Yes, yes, yes. So on the other side, we've got Mastermind and Nitro, both of them raiding
Yeah.
Sizzler's base.
Right now, I'm looking at the villager difference in the teams. It's 145 to 146. I'll try to see it what happens in next few minutes. The army, though, looks very, very similar. 82 for Sultans,
Yeah,
81 for
but I mean, the
archers.
issue here is that on
Yeah.
this side, you've got one flank completely dead, pretty much.
Yes.
You've got the pocket who is being raided to hell. On the other side, these guys are still at Purple Man's base, and they are not able to push forward. So as long as Nitro himself does not get raided by this army from the Sultans, I think the Sultans can easily just pull this win. Sorry, the team Arquebus, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Team
Sorry, sorry,
Archibald.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think like the only play you can do here is like Caesar has to come back, and the reinforcements from Great Wall has to come to Caesar's base right now because
Yeah,
they know like where their advantage is and like if they're able to clear off the army in Caesar's space because since their reinforcement will reach there sooner.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they can actually keep it alive. But no, I don't think it's gonna happen because Nitro has decided to go on the other flank, and these archers will instantly die. I
Yeah,
think like this
and
is GG here because both the flanks are actually gonna lose all their army, I believe,
yes, yes, yes.
and it's gonna be very difficult from at this point.
Yeah, so I mean,
Like,
Mastermind was raided initially, managed to lose his TC because of the
yeah,
Saracen crossbows, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
now he just has the numbers. He's got 28 crossbows compared to 23 for the Great One,
yeah.
and man,
One thing they
Kilias
can do
has
is like
just
they
clicked
can
up to
start
Castle Age.
turtling back.
Sorry?
They can start turtling back both the Great Wall and Kilias. They can start turtling back and try to boom because they see there's a lot of aggression.
Hmm.
They can wall it off, try to boom it back. They have the Saracen market, they have the Viking eco.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, the issue is the Viking player has just clicked up to Castle Age, so it'll still be another minute before Kilias gets to Castle
I
Age.
mean, definitely, but you have to see it from a perspective where like they're so far behind because they've lost a lot of flight. Like you have done a lot of damage to Purple Man, even though it's not enough,
Right.
but it's still enough.
And yeah, so meanwhile we have Mastermind who has managed to reach the Imperial Age before his flank reached Castle Age. So yeah, and we've got Nitro who's also just clicked up to Imperial Age. So yeah, these guys are about to become Arbalest. There's a massive number of them. There's 53 crossbows about to be Arbalest with Bracer and Chemistry.
I want to see how many wills is he on. He's on 52 wills. I think he went up one TC in.
Who Mastermind?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, so Mastermind going for a single TC push. Yep.
yeah. I I don't know if they realize they've clicked up or not, but they need to take the fight quickly. Like maybe just add a see this side so that he needs to add it himself, or he
Yeah,
needs
yeah, yeah.
to.
But I mean, see, like so many other games that I've cast, there's usually one flank that gets destroyed on each side, and it's usually a matter to see which flank manages to hold on for longer. Which I mean, in this case, Purple Man is getting hit pretty hard by Scissor and the Great One,
I
but
mean, this is like like this army here. That's so much army, but they're gonna stay there for 2 3 minutes,
yeah,
take one barrack down, and then come back, I believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
So
there's not
that's not damn good.
much that
But
they can
this
do at this
side,
point. Yeah.
like you could say, like they're actually focusing on killers. They should just skip completely and move on to Scissor because Scissor is the only
Yeah, but no,
player
no, no.
who can
Sizzler
actually
just
command this.
calls the GG at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you have two players already in Imperial
Yes.
Age,
Yes.
and Sizzler just did not have the resource to click up.
Yeah. I would say that aggression really paid off. Like I think the better move would have been for Scissor to go FC into a boom rather than like invest into scout fight because like if you're walling so much and if you're trying to defend your flank which is some in some way it is the weaker side of your
Hmm. Yeah,
so you
but
cannot invest into defending that.
yeah, but I mean, the thing here is that we've got Scissor, who is an extremely good player. But I mean, because of that, they need to play with Killio as one of their teammates, who is extremely weak. Whereas on the other side, we've got for Team Arquebus, pretty much everybody is like roughly 13, 14 points.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it's just where when it comes to mid game or late game, these guys will of course have an edge over somebody who's say 900 elo or 1000 elo. So we've seen this with teams like Stackers X or Stackers Z, where they wanted to field one or two extremely strong players, but
Mm.
even though they can get to the further rounds, once they meet somebody who's got like a team with 33, 13 or 1400 players,
Mm.
there's just no reply because a 900 player cannot defend against a 1400 elo player in late Castle Age
I mean
because
that's
they
like
just don't have the macro for it is what I'm saying.
exactly
So
like no like I think it definitely comes down to preparation itself
hmm.
like
Yeah, because
if
I see that you guys have prepared that core gamer extremely well.
yeah
The
he's
difference,
definitely a better player than me at
yes,
this
yes, the
point.
difference between his initial games that I've cast and the games that I cast today, there's just this massive difference, because he actually produces a lot of military.
Mhm.
which is something that can be a concern with players at low Euros. Like we saw in this game, the Kyrgios, he had some army out, but I mean he just kept losing it to army that was slightly better, tech wise. So whether it is some sort of an upgrade or whatever,
Yeah.
or just getting into bad fights.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean, even if you're not able to reach that level, like maybe you're not getting the time to coach or anything, like you need to see where your win condition lies.
right, right, right.
So assessing that and like trying to work towards it, because eventually if you're defending and you're defending in a way like your eco is also
Yeah,
behind
exactly,
other
exactly.
team,
Yes, yes,
it's
yes.
eventually gonna fall apart.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, I mean, you can just see over here, even in the stats. So Mastermind got 84 kills to just 11 deaths because that is all that Killjoy and Scissor were able to do on his
Hmm.
side, right? So Mastermind just practically single-handedly destroyed Killjoy. And Nitro,
Yeah.
even though he had his knights or whatever, they weren't really required in that capacity.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I really wish he would have clicked on the other side at least once,
hmm.
try to see if he was open. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it happens in these hyper
yeah,
situations.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that's GG's, guys. And so in this set,
Yeah,
we have Team Arquebus going for the semi-finals. So they'll be your opponents.
yeah.
And the semis for the winner brackets will, of course, be cast live. So let me just update the brackets as well.
Um, Red Knight, to answer your question, a 1400 can defender. It's not about elo. It's about like knowing what you can do and knowing what you cannot do.
Uh,
So in that situation, like if you have a 1500 on your team and a 900 on your team, if the 1500 can see what to do and just tell them, it's basically the same decision making for them. But it's figuring that out. The 1400, if he cannot figure out what he needs to do to beat the 1800, then he can't. That's
Actually,
one part of it.
the difference is actually, the fact that as the game time goes on further and further, right?
Mhm.
The similarities in the way they play or the number of villagers or whatever, there's always going to be a difference that keeps increasing, right?
Yeah,
So if you're talking about the first 10 minutes, a 1000 elo player can have zero idle time on the TC and get perfect uptimes.
yeah,
But when it gets to say 25 minutes or 30 minutes, whether it is Castle Age or if any sort of strategy they are going for which requires some heavy feudal aggression or whatever, the difference between a 1500 Edo player and a 1100 Edo player is the macro behind whatever army they are facing
yeah.
against each
I
other.
mean, even if you have a perfectly good translating that army into advantage,
Yeah.
that's the whole other thing.
Exactly.
Like,
And there's this other difference in the amount of idle TC time that you have as the game goes on further and further. Because I was watching the coverage of the Red Bull Vololo Cup just today. I did not manage to
yes,
watch it live. And there was this game where Dowd had a bunch of aggression. I think, I mean, I don't remember if it was forward or inside his own base, but the guy had like 1 minute and 30 seconds of idle time after half an hour of playing.
yeah,
So that is just, I mean,
yeah, like
massive.
the
Like,
whole
yeah. So
energy you need to focus on that. Like that comes with practice,
yeah, yeah,
and like
exactly.
yeah,
So I think, like I said, it's the macro that usually separates the heroes more than anything else. So you saw in this game, let me just go and take a look at the stats again. So Kyrgios has got to Castle Age at 31 minutes, right? Even though he was hit hard, it is
yeah,
possible, with a lot of feudal aggression to still get your Castle
yeah.
Age up times faster than what he
Yeah,
managed.
definitely, definitely. Like he wasn't hit that hard in feudal.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
just his
Yeah,
mismanagement of eco,
exactly.
and at the same time, Mastermind was already in.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you had Mastermind getting to Castle Age at 22 minutes, and it took almost 10 more minutes for Kilias to get there. So,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that is what I'm saying. It's the macro that usually separates the Elo
yeah.
brackets. So, anyways, that's it from us here. We'll be back with the loser bracket games tomorrow and day after, I believe, because I think there are like four sets to cast. So yeah, I'll be casting those tomorrow. And today, I guess that's it. We have the two semi-finalists for the winners bracket. So that will be
Yeah.
three-man
So
Saw
like
versus Team
we'll
Arquebus.
definitely be in the top four. Like I
Yes,
guess.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So I mean, I guess all of you guys are going home with some sort of prize money. It
Yeah. I
just
mean
depends
it
on which
it
positions you guys
stills
finish in.
like a little bit of like I wanna win this tournament,
Right.
so I'll want to see it all go through all the way because
Hmm.
every team has put some work.
Definitely, definitely, yeah. And yeah, so I mean, basically, wish you and Team Arquebus
Yeah.
the best. We will talk about the scheduling because ideally I would want to cast these games live. They will be a best of five. The rules have been announced, I believe, so you guys can just take a look at them. And yeah, so the semi-finals will be cast. The schedule for that will be posted in due time on the Discord server.
Mhm.
So if you guys are not on Discord, please, I'll just post a link over here so you guys can join us. And yeah, so that's it from us here. Good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow then. Bye.
Yeah. See ya. Good night.